Hi, welcome to The Writing Engineer. I've touched on this in a couple other videos, but today we're going to be going full bore into your character's environment. Now, what do I mean by your character's environment? There are many helpful videos and podcasts on world building, so I'm not going to focus on that particularly. I'm just going to cover a subset, your character's environment. First off, what do I mean by your character's environment? Well, world building is just that. You need a place for your characters to exist, for the story to take place in. Your world may need things like political parties, socioeconomic factors, the weather, etc. All things that are necessary for a world to exist. But there is something even more pressing than that for your character. Their current scene, where they are, and what it looks like around them. This environment is dynamic and will change as your character moves around in the story. But I can't world build every scene, can I? No, you can't. When describing the environment around your character in the moment, only the critical things are necessary. For example, your character doesn't need to know about the rare lizard that may exist in that part of the jungle that they happen to be in. What they might need to know is about the poisonous, shape-changing snake beast that eats the lizard is there. Especially if there's going to be an attack. Now you also need to make sure that the reader knows what there is in the environment that might be available to help your character, especially if they don't have any weapons. Are there any sharp sticks around? Maybe some splintered rock, possibly a convenient waterfall. Maybe they're in an area of a jungle that is near a village and a helpful villager might come by to help them in their time of need, only to hit them on the head and possibly drag them back to the village so that they can eat your main character. Feel free to use that. I'm probably going to make a video sometime later on the waterfall of ideas that is my brain. Making sure that the environment that your character is in is both hindering and helping at the same time makes for an excellently suspenseful story. Take, for example, in a science fiction story, maybe the spaceship that your character flies around in. They probably know it and its systems extremely well. They know what it can and what it can't do, and that gives them a really big advantage. But the ship itself, the tool that they use to make their living, is also a hindrance because they can't go outside the ship. The skin of the ship literally separates them from the sucking vacuum that will desiccate them and turn them into a popsicle in less than 30 seconds. They are trapped. And so, if stuff in that spaceship really goes sideways, chances are your character is going to be dead. And there are a million movies out there that deal with exactly this subject. The Alien series is the first one that comes to mind, not to mention a show called Pandora, or Apollo 13, or Event Horizon. All these shows have this same thing in common. The ship, while keeping people alive in space, is also the one thing that hinders their movement the most. I suppose the biggest takeaway from this is that when creating your character's immediate environment, which is both dynamic and critical to the story, that you make sure that it changes throughout the story, while not giving too much detail or too little detail. The stuff that your character needs to survive, to win through any situation that you throw at them, has to be available in their environment. And it needs at least a passing reference so that your readers know that it's at least in the room. You don't want to be pulling, flamethrowers from your character's butt, for example. That would be a really bad way to run a story, and it's going to feel very contrived. It is a very fine line between describing your scenes effectively so that a reader feels engaged in the story and feels that the story is coming alive and off the page, and going too far and over world building and getting stuck in an infinite loop of, I need to add this because it's really cool, or this is going to be necessary in some later whatever. Really, you just need to put in the stuff that's going to help them through and make sure your reader knows that it's there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's topic. If you have, please click the like button below. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I'm trying to post my new videos on Tuesday, but, again, as I've said, sometimes I fall on my face. If you'd like to be notified immediately when I post a new video, please click the notification bell in the bottom corner. Thank you again, and have a good evening. You don't want to just pull you don't want to pull a gun from... Alright, let's try that again.